Okay, so this weekend, or actually this week, some really incredible stuff happened. There's some really fantastic learning lessons, and so I wanted to share those with you all to help. So often, I have people come to me and they're like, if I just had more money, things would be different. Well, I agree, they would be. Unfortunately, more often than not, you'd be dealing with more guilt and shame, because if you had more money, you would have spent it, lost it, squandered it away or of that nature. And the thing that I have found, and that was true with myself, is if I can't take care of $5, I can't take care of $50,000. And so many people are under this illusion that if I just have more money, things will be different. No, not really. You're going to be in the same boat. The reason you're in that boat to start with is because of the way that we look at things. And so I want to share with you all, two things that happened this week that are just, really, really great examples of what it is that I keep talking about. So I get an email from a guy. I'm not going to say his name. My whole thing is, my intent is not to call this guy out, okay? It's not that at all. All I'm trying to do is point something out of that if this applies to you, hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about and then be able to make a shift or change your perception to help you out, okay? It says, hi, my name is so-and-so. I live here in Pensacola. It's crazy thing. I was watching side hustle videos about dump trailers on YouTube, and I clicked on one, and I realized that it's you. And you live in Pensacola. I've been very interested in both real estate and dump trailer business. I'm wondering if you had time to possibly meet and talk about it. I was hoping to buy you a cup of coffee in exchange for some of your wisdom. If that's something willing to do, just let me know. I said, hey man, I applaud your desire to create something more substantial than what you have. I'd love to get together with you. The problem that I face is that so many people reaching out to me, and therefore I'm charging $100 an hour for my time. I found this really weeds it out, and those that value what it is that I bring to the table, it becomes mutually beneficial. That's that thing that I talk about, okay? In the sense that, I'll answer an email and somebody has a question, hey, should I get a 14 or 16 foot dump trailer? My thing is, you always get a 14 foot. It holds the same amount as a 16. It's shorter, easier to get in there. Boom, done, okay? But somebody says, hey, I want time. I want you to stop what it is that you're doing. I want you to stop your source of income, and I want you to come and sit down with me, okay? Well, in that situation, it's a one-sided relationship, and it's just going there. And some of y'all are just rolling your eyes right now at this moment. I understand, but I'm going to get around to it, okay? Because this has karma attached to this, all right? And I said, the problem I face is so many people, I find this weeds out. To get the wisdom, I get compensated for my time, so it seems to be win-win. If this is something you would like to embark on, let me. His response, I appreciate you emailing me back. I respect that your time is valuable and didn't realize so many people were coming to you for advice. I was hoping to get you on one of your off days. I work 6.5 days a week. Virtually the only time I'm off is when I go to church on Sunday mornings. It was definitely worth a shot, but at this time I'm seeking free advice. Thanks for your offer. Free advice, okay? I understand. My recommendation is, if $100 is too much for you to be paying for someone that you seek their wisdom, then work on getting some money saved up before you try to make any moves with any type of side hustles or anything like that. What do you hear from everybody? Have a foundation to start with, Like a better words, if you're not going to start building on a foundation and, you got less than, we'll say $15,000, my advice to you is invest in yourself. Go find a coach or a mentor, somebody that you pay, buy some books, take some courses and everything like that. That's going to be the best investment that you're ever going to make. The exponential returns on learning a very high-paying, valuable skill such as sales is going to be instrumental. It's absolutely incredible when that starts to happen, okay? And so his response to me is, well, you're a cocky shit, aren't you? I don't think anything you could say would be worth $100, all right? Now, 2 hours earlier, this is the guy that says, hey, I happen to see you and realize you're in Pensacola. I want some of your time. That's, you all, okay. So now, let's see. My response 5 minutes later, I totally understand, but again, it serves its purpose. So you should ask yourself, why would you want to spend any time with somebody that's not at least worth $100 an hour before you spend time with somebody that's worth less? You're doing yourself a certain disservice by that. Quite simply, if you're not willing to pay somebody for their time, you should not go and do that. Your time is going to be better spent on either reading a book, watching a YouTube video, learning a skill, or perfecting whatever craft or trade it is that you have, okay? The thing about it is that, you know, 2 years ago, I read 48 books in 2020, okay? I read 48 books, all right? A lot of those books were on things that I already know about. That time got wasted. Now, it sounds real cool for me to say, oh, I read 48 books, okay? Great accomplishment? Yes. Probably 50% of those books were worthless. I didn't learn anything from it because it was things that I already knew. If you already know something about it, then you're spinning your wheels, okay? Just as this person contacted me, he said, I want to know something about dump trailers and real estate. But soon as he was going to have to pay for it, all of a sudden it was no longer valuable what I say. So the price tag obviously changed his perception of what it is that I had to say. And the reason that I harp on this is that at one time I had the same mindset, okay? Now if you look, there's a gentleman out there named Alex Hermazi. I highly suggest you follow him, watch every one of his videos, okay? The guy's got a mountain of nuggets, all right? He paid $50,000 for a person's time for 1 hour to see what they would have to say about certain things. That's 50 grand for 1 hour. He had a perception that what that person was going to say had value, okay? The thing about it is that if you are spending time looking to get something from someone, but they have no value to you, okay? And it would be different if the guy said, look, man, I don't have $100. I respect that and everything, but, you know, I could wash your car. I could do this. I could do that, okay? And again, the whole reason for me saying this is that I've got my foot in the door with more people by doing this than probably anything else. You know, because a lot of these people that I ask for their time, they're absolutely shocked when I say, what is it, how much for an hour's worth of your time? You know, I talk to social influencers and I ask them, I would like to do a podcast in the future with you. What's an hour of your time going to cost me? Well, I've never had anybody offer. Everybody wants to take. What do you mean? Everybody wants something for nothing. And here's the thing is that if you want to make $50 an hour or $100 an hour, you have to be willing to pay that amount of money for that money to go in circulation and come around, okay? Can you imagine if you want to get paid, we'll say 40 bucks an hour, okay? But when it comes time for you to pay other people, you only want to pay $10 an hour. Well, guess what? There's going to be a deficit, and that circle is going to stop, okay? And there's a saying about, you know, we reap what we sow. Well, that's true, okay? The flip side of that is you should start sowing the crops that you want to reap as well, okay? And I'm not trying to get biblical on you or anything, but this is a universal principle in the sense that if you always come across people and say, I want something for nothing, you're going to have a very difficult time getting anything, all right? So now, you know, he said, I was intending to shoot the shit with you about common interest, okay? Not fund your retirement. $100, I've already established exactly what it is that you thought of me with that price tag, okay? I'm not worth it, good. We're moving on, okay? And here's the thing, folks, is if you watch all my videos, there's not a question anybody has come to me and asked that's not answered in one of my videos, the thing about it is that they want that direct contact. Oh, but it costs money. Oh, I don't know about all that and everything like that. Shit. You know, even though I have, people on my cell phone and everything, there's a guy that lives around the corner from me. He's got over 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. And if I take more than 3 minutes of his time and ask him a question that has to do with YouTubing or business, I always ask him, I need an hour of your time. What's it going to cost? I always make that offer right up front, okay? And if he's never taken me up on it, he's never said, give me this, okay? If he ever does, it's coming out of my pocket immediately, okay? Because I've already gotten so much value from that relationship, okay? Now, I've done some things for him as well, and so I think it's a give and take good situation, all right? It hasn't been totally one-sided. The thing about it is that there's so many people out there that just want to take. They just want to take. They don't want to give anything else in return, okay? Now, if I'm not, worth a hundred somebody, I totally get it. Go find somebody that is. Go and talk with them. Whatever it is that they bring to the table, make sure that you want that, okay? He said, there are people out there that I would pay to talk to. You're just not one of them. Why did you contact me in the first place? That's, I don't spend my time reaching out to people that I don't value. My time has gotten to a point where there is so little of it. I'm able to basically put the phone down, watch TV, do nothing, and enjoy my time, that it is a premium, okay? It is extremely valuable for me to go and do those kind of things, much less. And I know thousands of people, okay? I've rode motorcycles all over this country. I've met all kinds of people, social media, this, that, and everything like that, okay? Know a lot of people. There's not very many people I want to go and have dinner with, okay? There's a gentleman I went and had dinner with last night, Gerald Peters. We had a great time. Follow him on Instagram, Full Auto 11. I'll do a screenshot of his page and everything like that. Had dinner with him last night. On the way over there to see him, we're driving along, and this guy calls me and says, hey man, I need a place to stay because I got rental properties, okay? And he's like, do you have anything to rent to own? I got 4 kids and I'm getting a divorce, and then me and my first wife, we're getting back together and everything like that. And I'm like, okay. I said, I got this big house. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's $1,800 a month. Oh man, for that kind of money and everything, I'd need to be doing rent to own and everything. I don't pay that kind of rent and everything. And I was like, okay, well, how much money do you have to bring to the table? What do you mean? I said, a down payment. Well, I really don't have anything. What are you looking at? I said, at the very minimum, it would have to be about $15,000 for me to entertain that. Oh, man, I don't know about all that and everything, and I'm like, and I happen to know some of this guy's history, and I don't know in the last 10 years if he's ever stayed in the same place and had a place of his own with his kid with no interruption for a year or more, okay? And if you talk to any financial independence, any type of guru, business guru, or anybody of that nature, none of them that I would trade places with, or I would say this, all of them that I would trade places with all talk about the same thing, and that's having a foundation to start with, okay? And so I talked to this guy and everything, and the ironic thing is this guy is the one that got me into selling 20 years ago. A cable company, he came to work for me. He worked for a guy that had made millions selling Kirby vacuums, lost everything, and then made it all back, okay? And this guy started teaching me about sales, And I mean, different stuff, like, I'm such a big guy and everything, and the way my voice is and being loud and whatnot. And he was like, dude, when you're talking to that little old lady, you got to lower your voice down. And you will see that they respond to you differently. And we're standing in this lady's living room, and I'm talking to her in my normal voice, and she would say something and then look at him while I would respond. And once I brought my voice down, she started looking and corresponding with me. It was amazing. So the guy's definitely intelligent, all right? And I said, look, man, I said, you need to get 6 months worth of reserves so that you can have a stable life and household for your children before you even think about buying a house. I said, dude, houses are expensive. You know, you buy one and it doesn't stop right there. All you see is the money that you between the difference between rent and a house payment. Well, guess what? In that spread, we have water heaters, we have repairs, we have ACs that go out, we have roofs that have to get replaced and everything. And I said, so now, you know, instead of that spread being $700-800, because you're going to put that money away each month, which most people don't, okay? You know, like I know that each one of my rental properties, 150 of that money I collect each month goes into a fund for a roof, okay? That's just what you have to do. So whenever the roof comes due, you don't get a surprise, all right? And so we're talking about this and everything. That guy's demeanor totally changed when I mentioned, you need to save some money. I told him, I said, look, man, everybody I know that I would trade places with, you know, they've eaten top ramen for long periods of time in their path to getting to financial independence. And I said, dude, you got to have to pay some dues, man. You know, you're going to have to pay rent. You're going to have to start putting some money away and everything like that. And there's fun. There's nothing romantic about it. There's nothing happy about it. There's nothing enjoyable about saving money. Okay? It sucks. It's a grind. You know, one of the things that happened with Gerald is on his bucket list was to own a beachfront condo. Dude, the view he's got, it's incredible. It's a beautiful place. You know how that happened? Gerald picked up nickels. Those nickels turned into dimes. Those dimes turned into quarters, and eventually he made some dollars. He put those dollars together. He spun around, and he kept on picking up nickels and turning them into dimes and everything. And then before you know it, he had a couple bundles. Okay, you get a couple bundles, then you get a bag. All right, a bag's about 100,000. Okay, and then he got multiple bags. And he started doing some trading. He bought rental properties. He got, you know, stock market, doing trades and everything like that. Doing book sales. He's a published author, multiple books. And the thing is that eventually he got to where he was able to go and buy that property. It was a beautiful, beautiful, you know, it's such an awesome accomplishment for anybody and everything, because that's such a milestone. It didn't happen overnight, you know. And he's got way more followers than I do and everything. And all the time people are contacting him about, you know, well, what should I do? And the thing was that we were listening to his video going over there. And, dude, this guy's got jokes, man, because, you know, it was like he was doing something live on Instagram and somebody was saying, well, you know, I want to buy a house. What do you think I should do? He's like, get some fucking credit, man. Get your credit right. Stuff like that and everything. It was just hilarious. We're sitting there rolling from it and everything. And the thing about it is that you need to get rid of that lottery mentality, like, hey, I'm going to hit it overnight. And the second thing is that you set yourself up for failure by not having a foundation, okay? Every building that's been around for any length of time has always had a strong foundation. And generally speaking, they will build the foundation to exceed what the building is to perform like over time. Okay, and like these big skyscrapers, okay, they got a foundation that will withstand, you know, like 280-mile-an-hour winds. And I don't know if we ever experienced 280-mile-an-hour winds. I know here in Florida we've experienced 180-mile-an-hour winds from a Cat 5 hurricane, okay, but the building foundations are built to exceed that just in case. Okay, so guess what happens over time? If you never experience turbulent winds, then you're great. You're good. You don't have any repairs to make because the foundation's already there. It's the same thing with your financial history, okay? You got to have that money right there. And the thing about it is I see so many times that people, you know, there's stages that you have to go through, okay? And unfortunately, everybody wants to skip, you know, stage 1, 2, and 3. They want to go straight to 5 or whatever it is, you know. They want to go straight from, you know, living with mom and dad to owning homes, you know. And granted, you know, it's possible and like that, but as soon as something happens, their whole life goes into a financial turmoil, and a lot of times they can't get out of it. And it's your responsibility, if you have children, to make sure and do everything that you can within your power to make sure that doesn't happen. And that's part of being financially responsible. I see it happen all the time where people are just on a shoestring, you know, and then something happens, like, you know, after 5 months of being in one place in one school, they got to pick the kids up and move again because guess what? They're not financially responsible. They don't have any money in reserves, and they got to go, okay? And if you're in that situation, I didn't put you there, so don't blame me. okay? You know, there's 100 and, what is it, 176, 178 hours each week, okay? You know, I'm working usually 90 to 100 of those. All right, that's a choice that I make because I don't want to be in that situation. You know, gas has gone up about 75 cents in the last 45 days. You know what? My traveling has not stopped. I drive the same amount. Okay, here in Florida, everybody's talking about their power rates going up and everything like that. My AC is still set on the same. It's because all these side hustles, my lifestyle does not change because the economy changes or prices go up. It all depends on what you want. We're still land of opportunity. You know, Gerald and I talked about immigrants that come to this country, and people will sit there and whine and moan and bitch and everything like that. You know, oh, they're taking our jobs. No, they're not. You think you're worth $25 an hour to start, you're not, okay? Second thing is get out of bed to go and do it, okay? Third is when you show up on the job, you can't stay off your phone. Oh, man, I don't know about that and everything. See, I remember when you went to work and you didn't have a phone on your side. Some of y'all don't remember that because you've had a phone since you're 8 or 9 years old. I assure you, you can survive without one, okay? It's very possible and definitely doable, all right? So, here's the thing. You make sure that you value other people's time, and if you're going to spend time with somebody that you don't value, you're wasting your and theirs. Number two, get, as Gerald says, get your buckets right, whoever else or whatever, you know, get your foundation started. Get that 6 months to a year of reserves. You know, I told this guy, I said, look, if it takes you $4,000 a month to live, you need 24,000 minimum. And man, his tone just totally changed. He did not want to hear that whatsoever. I even threw the old Tony Robbins at him. I said, you know, whatever we're doing, we're seeking pleasure to avoid pain. I said, you know, nobody wants to, you know, stack cash. Everybody wants to spend it. Everybody wants to look like a baller. Everybody wants the 4-bedroom, 2-bath and everything, but nobody wants the bank account to be able to back that up. So there you have it. It's been a good weekend. I got a lot of sleep. I was supposed to go see my mom on Thursday. Unfortunately, she had COVID. She's doing quite well. This is the second time, and she did have the vaccine, and, you know, it's unfortunate. And so I didn't, but I did take a lot of time off, and I didn't work a whole bunch and everything, so it's been awesome. Hope you have a fantastic day.